Hello, I'm Laura. Today, we're going to talk about one of the most controversial topics in modern relationships: open relationships versus monogamy. Let me ask you something. Is it actually natural for humans to be with just one person for the rest of their lives? Or is that something society taught us to believe? Because if you look around today, more and more people are questioning monogamy. And at the same time, many still believe it's the only way a relationship can truly work. So which one is right? Let's start with something important: data. Studies show that around 20 to 25% of people in long-term relationships admit to cheating at least once. Think about that for a second. That means that even in monogamous relationships, a significant number of people struggle to stay faithful. Now, here's something even more interesting. Research in recent years shows that open relationships and consensual non-monogamy are becoming more common, especially among younger generations. Some studies estimate that about 4 to 5% of adults are currently in some form of open relationship, while a much larger percentage say they would consider it under the right conditions. So clearly, something is changing. Despite all of this, monogamy is still the dominant model. And for many people, it works. Why? Because monogamy offers stability. It creates emotional safety. It reduces jealousy, at least in theory. And it builds a sense of exclusivity. You chose me, and only me. For a lot of people, that feeling is powerful. It creates trust, it creates structure, it creates long-term commitment. And let's be honest, for many, the idea of sharing their partner with someone else feels unacceptable. Not just uncomfortable, but completely wrong. But here's where things get complicated. Even though monogamy is the standard, it doesn't always match human behavior. People get bored, people get curious, people feel attraction, even when they're in love. And because monogamy often demands exclusivity not just in action, but in desire, people start hiding things, suppressing feelings, or worse, cheating. So the question becomes, is monogamy failing, or are people failing at monogamy? This is where open relationships come in. For some people, non-monogamy is not about lack of love. It's about honesty. Instead of pretending they will never feel attraction to anyone else, they accept it. Instead of hiding it, they talk about it. Supporters of open relationships often say, it's not about replacing your partner, it's about expanding connection. And for some couples, this works. They set boundaries, they communicate openly, they build trust in a different way. But here's the part people don't always say out loud. Open relationships are not easier. In fact, they can be much harder. They require extreme honesty, emotional control, strong communication skills, and most importantly, they require you to handle jealousy in a very different way. Because jealousy doesn't disappear, you just have to manage it, and not everyone can. Some research suggests that people in healthy open relationships report similar levels of relationship satisfaction as those in monogamous ones. But that only happens when both partners truly agree, not when one is pressured into it. Because if one person wants monogamy and the other wants openness, the relationship often becomes unstable. And this is where many fail. So maybe the real question is not which one is better, but what actually fits you? Because forcing monogamy on someone who doesn't believe in it creates frustration, and forcing openness on someone who needs exclusivity creates pain. At the core of every relationship, there are needs. Some people need security, others need freedom. Some need emotional depth with one person, others feel capable of connecting with more than one. Neither is automatically wrong, but the problem starts when people don't understand themselves, or worse, when they agree to something that goes against their emotional reality. This is why this topic creates so much conflict, because it challenges beliefs about love, about loyalty, about what a relationship should look like. For some, monogamy is the only real form of love. For others, it feels restrictive, and neither side is easily convinced. So, is monogamy outdated, or is it still the strongest form of connection? Are open relationships the future, or just a trend that works for a small percentage of people? Maybe the truth is somewhere in between. I want you to think about this honestly. Not based on what society says, not based on what sounds right, but based on who you are. What kind of relationship would actually make you feel fulfilled? And now I'm really curious. Do you believe in monogamy, or do you think open relationships make more sense? Tell me in the comments. Until next time, don't forget to subscribe.